Hello all and welcome to another vocabulary practice video. Let's look at some nouns and noun phrases. Body. A group of people who have joined together for a particular reason. For example, a governing body. We can also use the word body when we wish to refer to a large number of people. If people do something in a body, they do it together as a group in an official way. For example, the cleaning staff here went in a body to the manager to complain. And of course, the word body is not used to refer to people exclusively. We can say, for example, that these students have collected a huge body of information on a subject, or they have collected a growing body of evidence to support their claim. And you also may hear references to a body of water, for example. In this case, the phrase describes a large area of water. Agglomeration. Agglomeration describes a large group of many different things collected or brought together. A multicultural environment, for example, could be described as an agglomeration of various ethnic and religious groupings. When we refer to rural or urban agglomerations, we refer to collections of a number of villages or cities, respectively. Smog. Smog is a mixture of smoke, gases and chemicals, especially in cities, that makes the atmosphere difficult to breathe and harmful for health. For example, smog is a major problem in megacities, a serious threat to residents' health. Resident is a person who lives or has their home in a place. We can talk about the local residents of a country, city, or village. But we can also talk about the residents of a hotel, for example, people staying at the specific building. Possession. The fact that you have or own something. As in the following quote, "The possession of large amounts of money does not ensure happiness." You can study the pattern "in possession of," which means to have. The suspect, for example, was caught in possession of stolen property. Another pattern you may encounter is the following: in full possession of one's faculties or senses, which means that someone is acting in a reasonable and sensible way. If someone, for example, talks about taking huge risks, a possible reply would be this: "I don't think anyone in full possession of their senses would agree with you." Finance. Finance means the management of a supply of money or the actual money that a person or company has. We can talk about corporate, personal, or public finance. The noun finance often collocates with the verbs raise or obtain, as in the following example. "We are now trying to raise finance for more research projects." And of course, we can use finances in plural number, as in the utterance, "My finances are in a terrible mess at the moment." Foundation. The noun foundation can be found in many different contexts. For example, it can refer to the base of a building, the part that is below the ground and supports the rest of it. By extension, foundation may also refer to the most basic part of something. For example, many people believe that religion is the foundation of a civilized society. Foundation may also be an occasion when an organization is established, as in the following example, the foundation of the first grammar schools. When we bring major changes to an institution or set of beliefs, especially by making people question their basic ideas, we can say that we shake or rock it to its foundations. And you could also study the pattern "be without foundation," which means that something is not based on fact or it is not possible to prove. For example, I can say that the allegations made in the article I just read were completely without foundation. Tide. A noticeable change in a situation or increase in a particular type of behavior can be referred to by using the noun tide. For example, often governments look for ways of stemming the rising tide of protest related to contemporary issues. And you may also read references to the tide of opinion or sentiment. This is a tendency of people to think or feel in a particular way. Innovation. A new idea or method, or the use of a new idea or method. When a company, for example, sells or produces the same products without introducing anything new, we can say that they lack innovation, and their revenue may start to fall. Revenue refers to the income from business, activities, or taxes. Some governments, for example, may restructure the tax system to collect more revenue. Or I can talk about a company which has an estimated annual revenue of X amount of money. Or in the previous case, I can say that a company is struggling to boost revenues. Regulation. The word regulation refers to an official rule that controls the way that things are done. And actually, rules and regulations are often paired. For example, we often hear that correct procedures are laid down in rules and regulations. Finally, let's try to make the distinction between content and context. Content. Content refers to everything that is contained within something or the amount of a particular substance contained in something. For example, we can talk about the contents of a bag or box, or we can say that chocolate has a high fat content. Content is also used to refer to the ideas that are contained in a piece of writing, say a speech or a film. For instance, we can talk about specific TV shows whose content is not suitable for young children. Context refers to the situation within which something exists or happens. Context usually helps us to explain the situation. For example, to understand an issue or one's behavior, it must first be situated in context. We need to know when, where, and how so that we can draw some accurate conclusions. When we talk about the context of a word, then we refer to other words surrounding it that help to give it its meaning. The word development, for example, would mean economic growth or the improvement of one's skills, depending on the context. Time for you to repeat. Body. Body. Agglomeration. Agglomeration. Smog. Smog. Resident. Resident. Possession. Possession. Finance. Finance. Foundation. Foundation. Tide. Tide. Regulation. Regulation. Innovation. Innovation. Revenue. Revenue. Content. Content. Context. Context. See you next time. Thanks for watching.